you've been on stage. You've talked in front of thousands and thousands, and I can tell you, the folks we had there in Atlanta was one of the biggest family reunions we've had in the last 5 or 6 years. And so, does that ever bother you or intimidate you, or now you're just an old pro,
Yeah, I mean, you always get nervous a little bit because you want to bring value to the audience. You don't want to waste anybody's time.
right?
Just like today, I have a little angst, right?
Oh,
But you're confident. At some point, you get confident in what you say because you know
oh,
that what you say is valuable and it works. And I'm excited to be here, man.
well, again, I appreciate it and look forward to hopefully connecting, if not at one of our events or mega camp or something soon, so we can really break bread. But let's start. Will, is it Greenville, South Carolina? Is that where it is?
Yep, that's where we live, Greenville, South Carolina. So it's the northwest corner of South Carolina.
Right. And I put I think on a post yesterday what I really appreciate about you and your business, and how long has it been now? Is it 4 years, 5 years, 3 years, 4 years, somewhere around there? How long you been in it?
So I've been licensed since 2018. I was
Okay.
on a team for the first 2.5 years, and I've been by myself for the last, going on 6 years?
Okay. Okay. And we do have, well, we've
Going on
got,
5 years. Sorry.
okay. We've got some new agents on here. So would you
Cool.
advise? Would you advise those folks to maybe take the same path and route you did by joining a team and learning and growing, or you'd say just jump right in? What would be your suggestion?
It depends, right? I was new to my market. I didn't know anybody. I think I knew like two people in Greenville.
Yes.
Um, and I was 22 years old. I had a real estate license, but I didn't know how to have conversations with buyers or sellers or even, approach someone about real estate. So I viewed joining a team as getting my master's in real estate.
Yes.
And I knew that it wasn't going to be a long term thing. For some folks, it is a long term thing because, teams offer support, they offer business opportunities. Um, I just, I knew that, I was going to get to a certain point that I was going to break away from the team. And I did that in 2.5 years when I started bringing in more leads than the team was providing me. And at that point, I had the confidence to go out and do it on my own. And, through a couple iterations since then, it's worked out. I was kind of at that inflection of, am I even going to stay a real estate agent or am I going to go and fly planes for Delta Airlines? You know, and fortunately, I was like, all right, let me leave the team, give myself 12 months to try this on my own. And fortunately, it worked out. So I have taken the journey of pretty much every realtor, right? The despair in the beginning, the hope once you finally start getting some deals, the despair once again of not knowing if this is the right thing for you to do, and perseverance, pushing through all of that and finding success on the other side.
Well, trust me, it happens regardless of whether you've been licensed since 2018 or 37 years, because right now it's a bit challenging. And so I feel like I'm at that point some today. But again, I also have the stick-to-itiveness that it takes to persevere through it. And I've
Yeah.
tried to encourage everyone who's going through it to just let's keep our head down and we'll get through it, and we'll get through it together, because I think either collaboration or competition right now helps move the needle, and we need each other more now than ever before. So and I think that's what true leadership is all about. So I appreciate you for stepping into that role, because you're doing a fantastic job. And it's funny, I've heard from a couple of your boys and mine. So Van Wickler, he's like, you're the GOAT. And I I think Will's also yeah, Van Wickler, I think he's also the GOAT. And I had him on about, oh my goodness, 2 years ago,
Oh
might be
wow.
longer. Yeah, it's about 2 years ago when he was really scaling up. And and so I nicknamed him the kid at that point, and so I still refer to him as the kid. So but hey, real quick, on a completely different note. So, are you a sports fan at all? And did you play sports?
Yeah, I played basketball and golf in high school, and then went on to play varsity golf in college.
Okay. And which college was that?
That's Wofford College. It's one of the
Okay.
smaller D1 schools in the country. They're in
Absolutely.
Spartanburg.
Yeah. Well, and I was asking because I was curious because I see Monique is on the call, and I know a number of folks. They have military in their cities. They have universities in your city, and I think that Furman isn't Furman in your city.
Herman's in Greenville. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so yeah. So do you find yourself working with any um, I'd say, parents who are looking to invest or not really?
I've had a handful of those transactions. Their kids are going to Clemson, which is only about 45 minutes away,
Uh-huh.
or their kids are coming to Furman.
Hmm.
They're looking to have a second home or either follow their kids for the 4 years that they're going to be in college, hopefully 4 years.
Right. And see it, and I was asking because I think Furman played UConn and UConn just pulled off a shocker. And I'm a sports fan. And I was like, well, damn, I think Furman is in his area. So I was
Yeah.
like, you got to ask him about it. So,
Yeah.
and did
So
you see the
Furman and
UConn
my
game? Did
college,
you see it? Did you see it?
I did. I did.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what
So
a,
Furman and my college are rivals.
I'll get
So,
out. Okay.
so we're both, among the smaller kind of handful of D1 schools in the country.
Okay. All right. Enough about sports because I could go on forever about that. But business real quick. So, and I had to write this one down. So, over the last number of years, I mean, you've scaled up, man. You're rocking, 100 plus families, 100 plus million, and it's probably going to be significantly over that. So, what's one system or process that you tried and failed at? And how did that failure actually, kind of help you run today's business?
That's a good question. Um, I definitely tried to do everything for too long of a time. When you have no business, you have the opportunity to do everything. But then once you start doing some transactions, then your time gets starting to get pulled in different directions. So, the first hire that I made when I jumped off of the team was a transaction coordinator, because I knew that I'd always depended on one on the team, and
Mhm.
that was not a job that I was going to give myself back, because that was not me maximizing my highest dollar per hour. So that would probably be the first thing that I've kind of iterated through. I've had some horrible transaction coordinators, and it unfortunately has resulted in some, issues with some transactions. And I'm not perfect. No one is. We all have problems, right? But finding a really, really good one that I can depend on and practically give every step of the contract process after we sign a contract off to that TC has been so, so invaluable. And it's allowed us to scale. I mean, there's times that my transaction coordinator even does the entire repair process for me.
Oh, wow.
So, as far as the negotiations go. But again, you can't hand that stuff off until you know how to do those things yourself. So, I'm a big proponent of doing everything as a new agent. That way, you learn how to do it,
Mhm.
because then you can coach someone on how you want it done. So, for your first handful of transactions, you should be the one doing everything. But then I would very quickly hire that out. And, that's a transaction fee that you can potentially charge your client so that it's not an expense to you. And it's just a cost of doing business. Or you can swallow that yourself. It's up to you.
And I think many of us here in the Dallas area, we swallow that expense many years ago. I think about 20 years ago. We just had it on our listing agreement. It was a transaction fee, and I think for some reason our broker changed that, didn't allow us to do it. But
Yeah.
I'm a proponent of anything that can help reduce your costs because as long as I've been in this business, um, what I charge has basically remained the same, but my expenses have more than quadrupled. So I think, the net has shrunk, but it is what it is. So I'm not going to cry over that, but I think anything I can do now to change and maybe defer some of that cost over, it's just smart business.
Yeah. And I think also, you know, So the folks on the call, are they majority new agents?
No, there's a classroom full of new agents, but majority of these folks have all been in the business for a number of years. Yeah,
Okay.
most of them longer than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I would also say lack of intention of focusing on your database
Hmm.
was a big problem for me because I was so, circumstantially, sure, I was really young. A lot of my database wasn't transacting yet. But, and it's going to sound crazy, but last year we had about 23% of transactions sourced from our database, which is the most I've ever had of any year. And it was
Okay.
like such a huge win for me because we actually put some, we have started to put intention behind making sure that we're nurturing the database, making sure that we're having valuable client events. Whereas before, when I was growing the business, I just put so much attention on new lead generation efforts. And if something started to work, double, triple, quadruple my effort, sometimes my cost into that lead generation effort, and put virtually no systematic touch program around the database. And last year and a little bit of the year before, we started to do that pretty systematically, and it's finally starting to pay off. And I don't think you can underestimate the value of having a good database because it's the least expensive way to get a lead, right? Because these people already know who you are, and a great way to prove to them that you know what you're doing is just posting on social media. Like we heard about that at family reunion, and my coaches emphasize that a ton. Is this concept of social proof, where so like for instance um, every week at the end of the week we post on our story all of the transactions that we got under contract and all of the transactions that we closed. We don't do, a just sold or just listed or a under contract post for every single transaction. Uh, we just do it one day at the end of the week, and we let people in their week on learning what we did that week. And you'd be shocked at the engagement that you get from people, and that's just one little thing, right? And then, of course, your touch program that you have, is it emails, is it texts, is it calls, is it events? We've really put a lot of intention behind that, and it's starting to show, which has been a huge win for us, especially as we are intending to scale even more.
I love that. Well, it's funny, I didn't have one question really about your social media, which I think is the main reason why you typically are on stage. But I think I see a question here from Monique, maybe not from Monique, but are you doing, what kind of client events are you doing, or are you doing any at all?
Yeah, so we do 2 to 3 client events a year. I tried 4; it just was kind of too much. And you'll find that I'm kind of an introvert, so it takes a lot of accumulated energy for me to go out and talk to a bunch of people.
I remember.
Yeah, so 2 to 3. We actually just had one. Uh, every March, we get together at a local taco shop, and they have a small event space on the backside of the restaurant, and we call it Taco Night. Very simple. And we had about 108 people RSVP. We probably had about 75 people show up. And then in the fall time, we were going to the local baseball stadium, and we have a local minor league baseball team here. But the food was terrible. And we've done that for 3 years. But last year, I changed it to a local barbecue and brewery place. And we had pumpkins, so people could decorate their pumpkins and take them home right before Halloween. And I think we had like 95 people RSVP, and we probably had like 60 show up.
Mhm.
Um, and then we have a Thanksgiving pie giveaway. And one event that I'm wanting to do is like a family photo, either for Christmas cards or spring portraits. Um, I think that would be a really good engaging event. But it's not really about the event, right? It's about the before and after the event.
Yep.
It's about the making a, in my opinion, a meaningful connection with your database. I'm never. I've never been the guy to randomly call somebody and say, "Hey, how's it going? Do you have a house to sell? Do you know anybody that wants to sell?" No, I'm going to call you and tell you, "Hey, we're having a taco event. I'm not sure if you saw our postcard in the mail, but it's going to be next month. Can I count on you to come?" And you talk to everybody that's there. So you touch them 1 to 2 times before the event, you touch them at the event, and you touch them after the event. And it's just an effort to stay top of mind, right? And you can have, I don't know how Texas works, but you can have your vendors contribute to that, and you can put them on your marketing, just to make sure that you're in compliance. But those events, truthfully, don't have to cost a lot of money. And it's, in my opinion, probably the most meaningful way to make a contact with someone, other than, being friends with them on Facebook and following their major life events.
100%. And I've told this story 1,000 times. Um, I'm someone who's succeeded in this business in spite of myself because, like you, folks believe that I'm a huge extra. I'm not. I've never called a past client ever until I started hosting events because it gave me a reason then to reach out and say, "Hey, Will, want to make sure you and the wife receive the email, the notification, man. I'm hosting this event. I'd love for you to come out." That gave me a reason to call, and it felt genuine to me because I had clients go, "Hey Ben, I just bought a house last year, bro. I'm good. I'm not buying anything." And I'm like, "That's not why I'm calling, right? I'm calling to stay connected, to congratulate you on the promotion at your job or the kid or whatever." And I thought, didn't work for me either. And so now my events help me to stay connected. And so we've got probably my largest one coming on the 18th of this month. And anybody who's on the call, I've it's now clients and friends. So if you want to come, you can come. It's just a $50 fee, and that covers dinner, cocktail, dessert, and the band. And the proceeds go to two of my charities. So you're welcome. Will, you can even donate since you can't come.
Who said I
So,
couldn't come?
yeah, yeah. So let's talk shop real quick before I let you go. Uh, your relocation business is significant. I'd say your referral business, especially in the Greenville. Has that been through your social media or your contacts? Because again, I know at family reunion, it's easy for us to make those contacts and know that Greenville, South Carolina. Oh, who do I know? It's Will Sawyer, right?
Yeah.
Plano, Texas, Frisco, Texas, Dallas, Texas. Who do I know? Hopefully, it's Ben Baker, one of my friends on this call. Has that been through your social media, or have you made a focused, concentrated effort at bringing that business in?
Yeah, so a lot of my relocation business has come from our YouTube channel and our
Mhm.
social media. And I can go into that if you want me to. Uh,
Yeah, briefly. I think again, I didn't want to duplicate all of everything that people see you on stage with. But because I'd like to pride myself and think that first of all, I'm not Gary Keller or his handlers, right? This is Ben Baker. This is what I created, and so these questions are things that I want to know, or I think the folks who are participating or who will see this on social media can get some benefit from, right? Because the idea is I bring the meat every week. I'm not gonna bore you with a salad, right? Let's go for the filet mignon. And those who know me know that's my meat of choice. So
that's a
thanks
good
for
choice.
indulging me.
So, I mean, there's a few different ways you can harness agent referrals, and I'll be as candid as I can with you. Connect with other agents, create a Facebook group, and tag each other when someone posts about their market needing an agent in them.
Mhm.
That's how my uh, relocation career really got sprung. Is I had a referral in Myrtle Beach. I posted on Facebook that, hey, I have some folks relocating from Colorado. They were considering my area, but now they want to be in Myrtle Beach. 5 minutes later, I had this Myrtle Beach number call me. And this guy said, "Hey, I saw your post on Facebook. How can I help your folks?" I was like, "Whoa, wait, what are you talking about? Don't call me. I don't like to be randomly called." But it was because this guy was in this referral group of all these agents that he's met at these Keller Williams events, at these, whatever events that he's gone to, that he's gotten relationships from with other people from across the country. And they very simply tag each other in posts when they see someone who needs an agent in Dallas, Texas. Then they're going to tag Ben Baker or whoever else it is. And then it's your job to go out and find their number and call them.
Right.
So that was the system that allowed me to lead the team that I was on. You know, when I left that team the year before that, I did like 20 agent referrals that year. I mean, that's some serious money
Really
to be
is.
given away, right? 25% referral fee, 50% team referral. And I was like, look, I'm bringing in these leads myself. I'll just pay a referral fee and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that continued to scale. And then I was like, all right, well, I'm in a net migration market. Same thing with Dallas. I know Dallas, Fort Worth, you'll have a ton of crap going on,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you're not playing the relocation game in any degree, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. I would be interested to know what the net inbound migration numbers for Texas are, but they're really good for South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And there's three major metros in South Carolina. That's Greenville, my area, Columbia, which is the capital, and Charleston, which is the city that everyone has heard of.
Yes. And I vacationed there for Christmas.
Yeah, man, that's great.
Yep. Yep.
So if you're not capitalizing on that opportunity, I think you're leaving a lot of business on the table, because I know a lot of people in Dallas that are.
Right.
And just because other people are doing it doesn't mean that you can't. I mean, there are already people on, for example, YouTube. When I started my YouTube channel, I just like to think that I gave more value or just as much value to the people that were watching me. And for whatever reason, they wanted to call me versus someone else that they were watching. And now there's plenty of people doing YouTube because everyone knows it works.
Yep.
Right. But the market's never saturated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's enough for everybody.
You just have to give more value than you probably previously did.
Yeah.
And we're working on, our strategies evolve all the time around what videos to make, how our thumbnails should look, how our title of our videos should read. It's an ever evolving thing. But yeah, I would say if you're not harnessing some of that relocation business, be it agent referrals through these referral groups, and really capitalizing on those opportunities, or being on YouTube, for example, the number one search engine on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table.
Amen. Amen. 20 last year, 20 to just under 22% of my business came via that source, and the goal this year was 25. I don't think we're there. We might still end up at 20, but when 1 out of 5 units that you do, that's not bad at all. So I'll take that.
Yeah. And you're just adding to your database. I mean, that's you live in service of growing the database, right?
Amen.
Your business is in service of growing the database, because math will tell you that your database will turn over 5% every year,
Mm-hmm.
right? They themselves will transact, or they will know someone that transacts.
Right.
So the number that we're shooting for is 1,000 people in the database, met people that we have in the database.
Right.
Oh, and another thing. So I left the team. We had this agent referral thing going. I started a local Facebook group. And this is a big thing too. It's called Living in Greenville SC. So what I did, and I'll say this very quickly, is I invited all of my local friends to the group, and I made it a private group. I put 3 questions on when someone asked to join the group. Do you currently live in Greenville? Are you thinking about moving to Greenville? And what's your email? So that you can stay up to date on all the things that are going on around Greenville. You'd be shocked at the amount of people that give you their email. Everyone that goes into that group at this point, it's over 50,000 people, has come into our database. And we can retarget them on Facebook using custom audiences for our listings. If we ever ran ads, we could retarget them as well. But my business has kind of been built around this like relocation buyer.
Yep.
Because a lot of people, so going back to what we did, I invited all of my local friends, and that was probably 100 to 200 people. When they accepted the invite, I sent them an automated message, and you can download this Google Chrome extension called Group Leads. So GROUPLEADS, and I think it's like $20 a year. It's super, super cheap. And it'll plug into your Google Chrome, and it will auto send messages when someone joins the group. The initial message that I sent was, "Hey, thanks for joining Living in Greenville, South Carolina. Brian and I created the group in an effort to create more community in Greenville. All that we would ask is that you invite 5 of your local friends to the group so that we can reach more people." And a lot of people invited a lot of local people, and we got a lot of information that way.
Wow.
So our email list is, I think right now it's at 14,000, right? So 25%, 20% of the people that join the group will give you their email. Um, and within 2 years, that second calendar year, I did 12 deals from that group, and that was when it had 6,000 people in it, right?
Wow.
And
Well,
it's
most
just
agents in America don't even do 12 deals, period. And you did 12 deals just from that group. That's powerful.
yeah, and it's just a brand builder, right?
Hmm.
You don't
Hmm.
allow other realtors in the group, obviously, because they're going to request to join.
Yes.
And there's probably plenty of these types of groups in Dallas,
Hmm.
but you can do it in your sub market too. I mean, Dallas is such a big metro.
Right.
I don't really know any of the suburbs around Dallas, but like you could do for a little town just south of Greenville. It's called Simpsonville. So we could do this exact same group in Simpsonville,
Yes.
and you can do it for 5 different suburbs, 5 different groups, right?
Love it. Love it.
So options are unlimited.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that people are on this call, right? Because they want to learn, and they obviously are showing an effort to grow their business. And that's really one good way. If you commit to doing it, you're
Yeah.
going to get business from it.
Amen. And we've done it, but not like we should. So I think there's an opportunity. It's a growth opportunity for me. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing because again, you're just dropping nuggets. And I can tell you the folks who join on this call each and every week, they're all about they're learning based agents. Who want to grow and scale, and regardless of whether they've done it, we've got folks who've done it for a few days, who just got licensed, and others like Steve and myself who are pushing 38 years in this business. So we're all learning based. So I appreciate you sharing because I think we're real close now. Let me ask you this because some of us have spouses who also work in the business, and I know you do. So how have you and the missus, either created, some separation so that you don't always bring work home? What does that look like? So she's got a specific role and you do too?
So she's a sales agent,
Okay.
and that is simply her role. And she handles, truthfully, buyers under a certain price point.
Okay.
That way, I am not doing as many transactions, and I can kind of put a lot more intention on maximizing my dollar per hour and also operating the business. Whereas she's simply a salesperson in the business.
Hmm.
So her and our other buyer's agent, we kind of round robin them on the leads if it's under a certain price point. Anything over that, I take.
And over that, is that a 500,000, 750, or a million plus?
450.
Okay. Okay. Good. And I know because we had talked about I'd say more the exclusive community. Maybe it's a lake community. Is it Lake Kiowa? Kiwi? How do you pronounce it?
Kiwi. Yeah.
Kiwi? Okay. Um, Between your relocation business and so Lake Kiwi, um, how do you manage either communication when you've got maybe somebody who's trying to relocate, for logistics compared to someone who this is a second or third home for them? How do you handle the difference?
I mean, I feel like you give the same care and attention to everybody,
Yes.
regardless of price point. Like I said on stage, I just closed a $7.6 million home to the CEO and owner of a really well-known company. Um, I would say that quite literally nothing was different
Hmm.
from a $500,000 buyer. I think what you'll find with those types of people is they don't have time that a lot of other people do. So all that they expect is you, one, to know what you're talking about, and two, give them relevant and valuable information, as would technically anybody,
Right.
right? But those people are mostly high Ds. They don't want fluff. They don't want to really get to know you, and say that with an asterisk.
Right.
But they just want to know that they're making a good decision, and that you're looking out for their best interest, as would anyone, right?
Right.
So, again, if you have good systems in place, you can handle any amount of you can handle any transaction.
Indeed.
So to answer your question, there isn't really no difference. I mean, of course, I might put on my best golf shirt and my cleanest slacks, right? If I'm walking in front of somebody like that compared to a $400,000 buyer. Uh, but I've also found that while those people are just people, I think we're the ones that uh, talk up the anxiety in our minds. But
100%.
they would expect anything that anyone else would expect.
I
You
got
know,
you. And I completely agree. You know
and I
what?
wore my same tennis shoes that I wore showing him houses that I would anybody else.
Yeah.
You know,
There you
just
go.
my little sneakers.
Right. He puts his slacks on the same way as you and I. I feel you. I feel you. All right. Well, I think our time is done. Let me ask you this. So next year in 2027, if you matched or surpassed your goals, is there anything that would have to have changed in order for you to get there, or you just have to stay the course?
Yeah, so our goal is 175 units this year.
Okay.
Right now, we're on pace for about 155.
Okay.
And
Come on, pick
very,
it up, you slacker. Let's
yeah,
go.
very, very humbly, I say, like, I've always hit the goal that I've set. So it's kind of a weird thing to look and know that you're doing more than you did last year to date this year, but still not tracking to hit what you want to do. But again, like I, I set goals loosely and I focus on the actions to get me there.
There you
But if
go.
I, regardless if I hit the goal or not, like, dude, if I sell 155 ounces, I'm not going to complain.
Right.
Like I have a ton to be thankful for.
Yes, we do.
And my wife and I are extremely blessed. We have a great business. We have a great family. We have each other. Um, you know, I you got two problems in real estate. You either don't have enough leads or you don't have enough agents to service the leads that you do have. We probably have a little bit of both, right? So, I mean, if we're going to hit 175 units, we got to generate a little bit more leads. So, how are we going to go out and do that, right? So, what actions do we have to take
That's it.
to hit that goal?